What is going on, guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play from behind with Lone Druid and how to essentially make a comeback almost every single time on this hero. Now, most of the time you are having a pretty decent time in the mid lane with the Lone Druid, depending on how good you are on this hero. But this game really tilted me out in the early stages of the game because, first of all, my bear got hooked right off the rune. I knew that was a possibility for it to happen as they have a pudge, but I still ran the risk anyway, which is pretty bad because normally if you're going to go for a play like this, you buy a teleport scroll for the bear. That way, if he gets caught out, you send him back to base and you can just TP out. But this pudge really made my life a living hell because he hooked me once again. And going back to base on a level 1 Lone Druid with a bear on cooldown, when I was 70 health, he hooked me again and I lost my bear. I ended up having to TP back to base because if I did resummon, Silencer can just kill me. Silencer is one of these counter matchups that you don't really deal with too well and you kind of need your supports to back you up. But in this game, my supports really didn't give a shit about me and they really didn't want to come help me out. This pudge definitely did the right thing. He definitely understood the power spikes of the Lone Druid and understood that if you pressure him out practically before level 3 and level 4, which is kind of his strong lane power spike, he knew as soon as the bear would die and I resummoned, I would be pretty screwed, which is the whole point of this hero. If you pressure the Lone Druid, get his bear killed, and then you resummon and you kill him again, he's practically useless for the next couple of minutes until you get another bear. This hero revolves around this bear completely, so if you manage to shut him down in the laning phase, you're pretty screwed. But with the amount of camps that there are in this map, you can definitely start farming those up. Sure, you're not going to be as farmed or as much XP as you would like, but it is a comeback mechanic into the game. So the game got very difficult for me. The Silencer started snowballing and my team kept pinging me and it became very annoying. One of the first things I recommend you guys to do is if your team is tilting the hell out of you and they're just calling you a shitty mid laner or that you're feeding, mute everybody and start doing the following. Start farming in the safe areas of the map. Get yourself your phase boots and your Mask of Madness. That way your farm can actually scale. And if you do want to take a team fight when you have your ultimate scaled already, you can do so and get a couple of pickoffs on some squishy supports, and with a little bit of RNG luck on the roots, you should be just fine. But then you go straight in for the Desolator and the Aghanim Scepter. That is how you play from behind on this hero. You definitely don't go for a Basher or a Monkey King Bar for extra damage. You are going to go for the Rat Potential. Now, in most games, people are so focused on the objectives and the team fights where they're not even going to notice that the bear is destroying their base. And that is exactly what happened on this game because I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew they were going to be able to shut me down in the team fights as they have a Silencer. They have a ton of magic damage to deal with the Lone Druid. So once you get your Aghanim Scepter, your bear can definitely split push them to death, and that is exactly what I did. And I believe that's what got us the win because I told my team, hey, I know you guys don't really like me, but if you guys take a team fight bottom, and even if we lose the Aegis, I will take 2 sets of racks because they're going to be busy. They're not going to be looking at their base when they're taking a Roche fight. That's definitely not going to happen. And the lower MMR you are, the more this play is going to end up working for you. So my team ended up listening to me. I got 2 sets of racks for a team fight that we lost, and I just kept split pushing them. They had to rotate 5 heroes just to deal with the bear split push, and then the rest of my team was just farming and grouping up, and whenever they wanted to take a fight, they didn't have me, but I was taking their base down. You can always leave your main druid at base, that way you can keep summoning bears if your bear dies, because the thing is, people are always looking for the Lone Druid icon, and the bear, it just looks like any other summon in the game. It doesn't have its own icon where you just see like this bear pushing you down. So it's a lot easier for you to micro your bear and get him out of sticky situations if you're only microing the bear. So I definitely always leave the main druid at base, that way I can keep summoning the bear and keep split pushing, and it's going to create so much space on the map, and it's very difficult to stop the Lone Druid bear while he's split pushing. And it's going to allow you to take a lot safer farm without having to worry if you lose your druid, if you're feeding away gold. The bear is 300 gold, but your hero is going to be worth a lot more. So even if you're losing your bear, it's still creating space. It's still not feeding as much gold as if your main druid was dying, especially against a lineup like this. They have so much damage that my main druid, even in ultimate form, could definitely just die. So it's definitely the better play to go. And once you get Boots of Travels, you're going to be pushing out the lanes. You can cut creep waves. You can do so many things on this hero to come back into the game. That's what makes this hero so strong. You're not always going to have a good laning phase. Preferably, if you guys can play safe from level 1 to level 3, you're going to be doing a lot better. But when they have heroes like Pudge or Tusk that can definitely make rotations very easily, you have to be careful with that, and you have to get yourself a lot more vision around the mid lane or get your supports to help you. But in a game like this where the supports really hated me because they said I was feeding and that I was a garbage mid player, then they definitely don't want to help you. So you kind of have to do this on your own, go for the right play, which is to buy the Aghanim Scepter once you have the Deso, the Mask of Madness, and the Phase Boots. That way you can really chonk down towers and really start getting the game ahead, because if you just keep dying on your main druid and spawning your bear once you're up, you're losing a lot of time in map efficiency. Preferably you don't pick lone druid into lineups like this where they last pick a silencer. So unfortunately I didn't know they were going to last pick silencer, but everything else is pretty fine. You deal with everything pretty well. Savage Roar is definitely always a good tool against Phantom Assassin, but the Underlord pit and everything is very annoying for the bear, and that's why you get these scepters, so you can keep spawning the bears, and eventually you can get yourself a refresher orb and keep split pushing. That is the name of the game. If you are snowballing, then you definitely play with both, as it benefits you a lot with playing with the main druid, because you can get double the root. This is definitely the way I like to play lone druid from behind. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, how you guys like to play on lone druid, if you guys have had a bad start and if you've been shut down. What is your way to come back into the game? Mine is that you get the Deso, the Mask of Madness, the Phase Boot, and start split pushing with your Aghanim Scepter. That is my way, and it's worked pretty much every single time. There will be games where obviously it's not going to work because they can just deal with the bear quite quickly without committing too much, and then in the ultra late game practically everybody will get boots travels and they'll be able to deal with the bear. But the fact that one bear can create so much pressure on the map and force 3 or 4 or 5 heroes to make a rotation on you is always going to be space and value in this hero, and you are mid laner, so at the end of the day your carry is going to be able to pick up the slack in the team fights even when you're not there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys keep playing Lone Druid, a very fantastic hero, and can definitely win you a ton of games if played correctly. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.